So Julie and Claire, thank you on behalf of Synapse. Julie has had a very long-standing relationship with Synapse and is really proud of her achievements, and rightfully so, of what you've achieved in establishing your business, All Ability Yoga. And so we have Julie as a yoga teacher, and with her today, Claire. Oh, is that a kitty cat?
Oh, sorry, that's my cat. I have a few, they might come in and visit the session.
So with us today, Claire, there you go, thank you. Claire has many years experience and is a qualified yoga therapist. And so thank you today. You're going to lead the session after some introductions. So thanks again. So Julie, would you like to start? I'll just share my screen so we can see. I'm just going to put it on.
Beautiful.
Because we'd love to know
a little bit
about your business, Julie, and how you came about setting it up.
Oh.
And maybe the benefits of yoga as well. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. There you go.
Wonderful. So how it started was many years ago when I joined Synapse. I had a very keen interest in obviously food is keeping healthy and well with living with an acquired brain injury. And I was studying a subject of Indian medicine, which is called Ayurveda. Many of you may have heard of it, but it's basically the science of life, or just a life science. So it was like looking after yourself just naturally. I know that during my lifetime that I've had to take a lot of medicine to stay well and healthy, but I also became quite allergic to some things as well. But that's my system. So I've been practicing yoga since I had my brain surgery and meditation. And I knew that the calm that it brought to me in my whole being was so important just for my general well-being. And when I didn't practice or do the gentle stuff that my body needed, I felt very different. I felt agitated sometimes, or a little bit overwhelmed with going to do body pump, for instance, which is wonderful. Absolutely love it. But my body was screaming out for something different. I realized how the benefit of meditation actually worked with my brain and the way that it was repairing at the time. So I was meditating very regularly throughout the day, usually in little sort of 10 to 15 minute bursts of being quiet and noticing aromas and sounds and things like that. I didn't realize I was meditating, but that's what I was doing. Later on, I wanted to train in more of this. So I actually thought I was going to be teaching and running food education when I first met Synapse and started Food Whisperers, but that's still going. But the quietness and the calmness my body still was crying out for, and my brain even more so was saying, just stop and slow. We're getting, every day we're growing, and we're growing into, we're all lovely human beings. That's all we are. We just want to be heard. And I had to listen to my body and also to observe some of the pain I was having. And through that, I wanted to become a yoga teacher. So I did that, another lovely journey, and became an Ayurveda lifestyle consultant as well. So helping people with managing their life and their well-being. Went to work at Red Cross for a little while, and then I got made redundant. And so I thought I'll just put my money into starting a business like you do when you have a brain injury, because you've got nothing else to do. I was just loving what I wanted to do and started All Ability Yoga. But I wanted to be something that could really help people. I was born with something from my mum and dad of always being mindful of other people's ability and helping them. And that's all I wanted to do, was to share my voice and my experience. So NDIS came into play. I took myself on a free business course up in Newcastle to become an NDIS provider, and learned about all of the things that you need to do to become a registered provider. I actually found it very challenging with having ABI. I use a certain memory retraining technique I learned in England, and I had to really bring that back. It's like doing exams in medicine. You use memory retraining to remember everything, but the brain gets tired. So again, more meditation, more relaxation, more self-care, and it's daily living, and it's part of my life now. That even when I'm working, I have to rest and digest every day. And we'll hear those words in yoga a lot. But what does it mean? It just means listening to yourself. We need quiet, we need calm, we need to be heard. And that's what All Ability is about. Now we're NDIS providers. We can provide services to help people with all disabilities, because we have people like Claire, who will be coming on shortly, to talk about yoga therapy as well, and how it works with people who have, I don't like the word complex need, but we've got needs just like everyone else. We're very, very special people because we've survived something pretty unique, and we're all here for you. So enjoy today. I'm going to do a little meditation at the end of Claire's session today. I hope you enjoy the session, and yeah, just keep in touch because we're all here to help. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Julie. And Claire?
Yes. Would you like me to do a little?
I would love you to do a nice intro. I know that you have such, years and years of experience, and you do so much together with Julie, and we'd love to know some more. And the difference maybe between the yoga teacher and a yoga therapist.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I started actually in the fitness industry back in the 90s when freestyle aerobics and all of those beautiful fun classes were before body pump days, actually, but just before. And I love that because they were all really creative and you were using your brain a lot, actually, which was really great for keeping it alive and going, as we know. And then obviously after a long time of teaching high impact classes, my body decided, and also teaching on quite a few injuries because of that being my job. When you get injured, you don't get sick pay or anything like that as a fitness teacher. So you turn up and you teach it to the best of your ability, but it makes injuries last longer and things like that. So my body was craving something quieter and something that was more sustainable for the future. So again, I was taught to rest and digest, as Julie says, because you can only sustain that kind of lifestyle for so long. So then I came across, I was teaching seniors, actually. I was teaching them Zumba, and one day we just did 3 breaths and they all just went at the same time, and I just had an aha moment that I need to do yoga with them. I wasn't a yoga teacher yet because I was feeling a bit like I wouldn't be good enough to do yoga. I wouldn't be flexible enough, and all of those things that everybody says to me about the reasons why they don't go to yoga as well. And so I ended up finding chair yoga course over in New York and went to do that because who doesn't want to go to New York as well? So, and it was the best thing that I did because it ended up becoming my path, actually. And I started teaching and then realizing the need for more of this because it was so accessible and everyone can do it. There's not one person that couldn't participate in a chair yoga class in their own unique way. And I started then training teachers to be chair yoga teachers so we could have more of this out there in the world and help as many people as we can through the amazing benefits of yoga. And then also I did study yoga therapy. So I did go and do my yoga training after that. It gave me the confidence to do that. And then yoga therapy is a little bit different from teaching classes where a class would be kind of like a larger group kind of class that's very general, whereas yoga therapy is using the tools and techniques of yoga with like one-on-one or a very small group with specific needs. So you would be working, for example, with say a group of people with a similar condition, and you would give them not only practice but like a consultation and then a prescription of yoga that they can go and practice at home and then meet up and alter that and chat about it and things like that. So it's much more consultative, is that a word? I don't even know. But it's much more personalized than a general yoga class. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. I think everyone is looking forward to a bit of chair yoga. I certainly feel a little tense today, and I've been looking forward to this for quite some time now. So thank you.
Do you want to get started now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I might pop everybody on mute just in case there's any background noise, and I apologize if the cats meow or if something happens. There is a little bit of building noise I can just hear now, but hopefully it will fade out. And you're welcome to put music on in your background if you want to, because we'll be on mute and nobody can hear that anyway. So if that suits you, please go ahead. I'll just move myself back. I did the star test before and then I moved my chair. So just check that you can all see all of me. That's okay? Thumbs up.
A little bit back, Claire.
A bit back? Yeah, great. Sorry, I should have left my chair where it was before.
Now we can see your feet. Tiny little bit back, by about an inch back, just so we can see your toes.
Okay.
I'm not a perfectionist, that's better.
No, it's great. It's hard to tell from me sometimes. My screen looks a little bit of a different size actually to what you can see. So it's good to have the feedback. Thank you, Julie. All right.
And yeah, it would be great if everyone participates. Give it a go.
Go for it. All right, so we're going to start the practice today in what we call sitting mountain, and this is the absolute most important posture that I would highly recommend anytime you can think of it to remember to get into this position. So we want to come a little forward on the chair, remembering that at any time, if you need to lean back or if you want to, you can use a cushion for support behind you if you need some extra support there. But coming forward on the chair, we just give ourselves a bit more of an opportunity to be in a better position, that we're going to sit up tall instead of sitting down on the chair, which we tend to do when we lean back. So we'll sit forward a little and let's check in now with our leg alignment. So just checking that your knees are roughly in line with your inner hip bone, so that bony point there in the middle, and your middle toes point mostly forward. Sometimes if your legs are a little wider apart, which might be more comfortable for some people, you can have the toes out a little, but we look for a line from our middle toe to our knee and then to that inner hip bone, and that's a beautiful positioning for our legs. We also look for an ankle under the knee as well. That's a really great place to give our knees beautiful support. And as you can feel, it makes you feel quite steady on the chair. If you move your feet back, you feel, oh, I might tip forward, or, so having that base of support is super important. And then we're going to lift the spine up. So imagine your spine is climbing up your back all the way up, and the crown of the head goes to the sky. And then we can roll the shoulders a few times, maybe up and back and down. I can never stop at one of these. And when you're ready, you can let them settle down into your back. Your hands can be down on your lap or up. You can do one of each. You can also have them down beside you if that feels comfortable for you. Remember that all of this is about you. So you can choose what feels the best for you today in this moment. And so here we are in sitting mountain alignment. And just notice what happens if you press your feet down into the floor. Can you feel that sense of grounding connecting to the earth, and then this sense of energy, lift and support through the rest of your body. If you feel comfortable here, you can soften your gaze or close your eyes if that's okay for you. Remember, again, you choose. And we'll take a moment to just sit in sitting mountain. Tadasana. Noticing how it feels to be here in this place where we have space in our torso for our breath, space for our organs, and all the muscles are working. I like to use a little affirmation here. And you're welcome to join me if you like, or you can ignore it if it doesn't suit you. I like to say, I am the mountain. I am strong, stable, solid, and secure. I am the mountain. I'm strong, stable, solid, secure. Let's take another breath here in our mountain pose, filling up the whole torso with air, and then exhaling completely. And then when you feel ready, you can gently let the eyes lift and come back into this space. Just notice how that feels. Maybe you already feel a little difference from before we started to now. Sometimes all it takes is just a moment of going within. Now let's move into our body a little bit. So we'll press into the feet. So that's going to be like our base of support then, so we stay connected and steady as we start to move the upper body around. So just keeping that connection to the earth. We'll start with our hands today, and we're going to come up and imagine like we're playing the piano with our hands. And we'll start with our left hand, starting from the pinky finger, going pinky, ring, middle, index, and thumb. Pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb. We'll do it again. Pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb. And then we can do the other way. Thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky. That's it. Very like you're playing the piano with your fingers, just one at a time. Nice. And then we'll do the other hand and see how that goes. So let's start with the pinky finger on the other side. So pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb. That's it. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb. And then you can take that out the other way. So thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky. Beautiful. We'll do one more. And then from there, with both hands, we're going to let all the fingers just move and wiggle as we circle the wrists. And then from there, if it feels okay for you today, you're welcome to let your arms rise up, and everyone will have their own unique up. So take it to where your up is for today. And then on the way down, you can circle the other way. So as you turn one way, you might notice the thumb goes in first. And as you turn the other way, you might notice the pinky finger goes in first. So continue that up through the center to your up for today, and then changing direction. Move all the fingers like you're still playing the piano. Nice. And then from there, we'll come back into the center, taking our hands down like a kangaroo, and then we'll go one up and one down. So just flexing and extending through the wrists. Beautiful. And remember, there's no rush. See if you can keep breathing all the time. Nice. And then from there, we will make that little kangaroo shape, or almost like a beak with your hands. And we'll just gently start to let the arms float up. They can be together or further apart if that feels nicer for your body. Again, to your own up. And then spread all the fingers wide as you come down, like you're rubbing your hands down the wall in front of you. That's it. And then beak fingers or kangaroo hands as you go up, whatever you want to call them. And then splay all the fingers out. Beautiful. We'll do one more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Coming down. Gorgeous. Now from here, we'll turn the palms to face each other, like you're holding a ball in the middle. And then we're going to stretch the ball. It's a stretchy ball. We're going to stretch it out wide and draw the hands back a little. And then we'll bring it back into the center and squish it down really small. And then we'll gently open the hands out. Good. Just checking as you do this that you still have that nice connection to the earth, that you still have that beautiful posture, and the breath is still flowing without any force, just a beautiful natural breath. Oh, I love this shoulder warm up, especially if you have been a little tight in the shoulders. This is a great one because we're moving our shoulder blades in and out, we're getting them mobilized. And then come back into the center and join your thumb and all your fingertips together in a little prism shape. And then circling the fingers around. Again, really great if you're on computers, this one. Going to be feeling that release and the tension in the hands. See if you can change the way, the direction that you're circling. And then from there, you've got to think about that, don't you? There we go. Interlace the fingers and we'll turn the palms forward, and just when you turn them forward, just stretching to wherever's comfortable, but keep your elbows soft and relax your shoulders. Yeah, we always go straight into hunching up, but let's soften through the shoulders, the neck. Make this a little more about the hands. We'll take another beautiful breath here. And then bring the hands in, and let's change which pinky finger is at the bottom. So we're going to slide all the fingers down, and it's probably going to feel like your unusual grip now, a little bit strange, not what you're used to. And then we'll press the hands forward. Now you're welcome to keep your hands here, or maybe let them go to your up for today. Again, you can keep your hands as close to you as feels comfortable. And everyone will be somewhere different because we're all unique and different. So just do you. All right, let's take one more breath here. And on the exhale breath, we'll slowly bring the hands back, down, and release them to the lap. Take a breath here. Just notice how your fingers, your hands feel, your shoulders. And then from here, we'll bring our hands maybe just a little up on the thighs, maybe to the hips. You might feel like you want to draw your elbows back towards each other, and the shoulder blades will move back towards each other as the heart lifts up a little bit. So we want to open this space at the front, making a little bit of room, extra room at the front for our breath. And then you can notice, how does the breath feel in the front of the body? Just making sure you're not dropping your head back. So just maybe gaze with the eyes up to where the roof meets the wall. Take one more inhale into the front body, front torso. When you exhale, let your tailbone come down towards the chair. So it's almost like your tail's going to go between your legs like a naughty puppy dog. And then we're going to press down into our feet and gently lean back in the chair. Yeah, keep your feet grounded. Sometimes I see people's feet go flying off the air, but see if you can keep them on the floor for this. Then as you come forward, breathe in and expand through that heart space again. Draw your shoulder blades back. And then exhale, gently tuck the tailbone and lean back. Inhale, coming forward, just remembering not to drop the head all the way back. We want to really protect our neck. And also when we drop our head back, we can actually disrupt the blood flow and the messages to the brain. So just making sure you keep that space at the back of your neck is super, super important to keep the brain healthy. Just moving gently forward and back. Do one more. This is our cow and cat pose. I get the cat, but I don't really know why they call it cow pose. Let's come back to the front and sit up nice and tall. All right, from here, we're going to take some circles. So just see how you feel. You can lean out to the right, forward, around to the left and back. And you only need to make your circles as big or as small as you like. If it feels better to go side to side, that's also another option if you don't like to do the circles. And then we'll go back around the other direction. That's gently moving. You might feel good to keep your eyes focused in front of you somewhere as you move. Yeah, gorgeous. Little spine warm-ups. And we'll come back, sit tall in sitting mountain, ground the feet down, take a breath in, and as you exhale, we'll slide the right hand up the leg as we turn the ribs towards the right. Now you're welcome as you turn to keep looking forward, or you can turn your head if it's comfortable for you. On the inhale breath, we'll come back to the center. And on the exhale breath, we'll turn to the left, sliding the hand up the leg towards the hip. Slide the hand back down, turn the ribs to the front as you inhale and continue side to side. Remembering about that beautiful grounding through your feet, your legs, keeping you steady as you twist from the rib cage area. Beautiful warming up for the spine, beautiful mobilization, getting, again, that little bit of circulation happening for our organs. Stimulating our digestion. Let's pause when we get to the right side next time. Remember that sometimes we might be in a different place, but we'll all meet back together. So we sometimes move differently or breathe differently, right? So when you're on the right side now, an option might be to bring your left hand over to the inside of your right leg or the outside, if that feels okay. You might even like to bring your right hand from your hip to your shoulder, or maybe a cactus shape, or maybe even out, reaching somewhere out from the shoulder. Just be careful you're not overextending back further than wherever your shoulder is. Just make your hand an extension of your shoulder if you're reaching out. Remember, choose what feels right for you today. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, because I'm me and you're you. So you be you and I'll be me. That's it. All right, next inhale breath, we're going to make our way back to the front. So if your hand's out, you can bring it back and unravel yourself around to the front, and then we'll go exhale to the other side. So slide the hand up and then choose where you'd like. And remember, this side might be different. So bringing your hand on the inside or outside of the thigh and choosing what you'd like to do with your left hand. Maybe it's hip, shoulder, cactus, or out to the side somewhere. And really, yoga is all about being in a state of kindness and non-harm. So if something is painful for you, adjust. Remember that your body is important. Your emotions are important, your mind. So if something makes you feel a certain way, change it to something that feels more comfortable for you. Let's inhale and come back on the next inhale, next time we breathe in, and back to the front. From here, we'll take a beautiful breath in the center, in and out, just to ground ourselves. And then another inhale to grow tall. And as you exhale, slowly hinge forward from your hips. Now, this is where sometimes a little bit of extra space can feel really nice. We don't have to go too far down, but just to give a little space so the breath can keep flowing. Because remember, the more space we have in our torso, the more we can breathe. So then from here, if you want to, you can stay where you are, or you might like to slide your hands down your legs somewhere to wherever feels good for you. Use your inhale breath to press with your feet and just lift up a little bit as you slide your hands back up your legs. And then exhale to bring them down. And then inhale to gently draw them up. And you can go down the sides, up the front, down the, what did I say before? Down the back, up wherever you want to do your hands is absolutely fine. This is a beautiful way to stimulate the energy flow, the circulation in our lower legs without really putting too much pressure on them, and our hands as well. Next one, we're going to come all the way back up. So just taking your time as you inhale to come up, you might bring your hands up the side of your legs. You might even like to give your hips, your bottom, a little bit of a squeeze, a little bit of stimulation. That's it, just to where's comfortable for you. Give your hips a little bit of a rub, either on the hips or maybe even with your hands or knuckles on your lower back, hands or knuckles. Just doing again what feels right. Where are you called to? Maybe it's somewhere different. Maybe it's your knees, or you can bring that beautiful energy anywhere you like. All right, we'll take that back to sitting mountain now. So just take a moment as you get here and notice how that feels for you. Just noticing and feeling the sensations. And then from here, we're going to keep our left foot down onto the floor and lift the right foot up so the heel comes off the ground. Then gently taking that foot back down. So then we can do the other side. So left heel lifts and lowers. Lifts and lowers. Left heel. Now you're welcome to keep connected to the floor all the time and continue that. Or if you'd like, you could float that right leg up and down. And then that left leg up and down. And if you choose that option, try to place your foot down, heel, toes. Like you're walking here, heel, toes. If you want, you can even add the opposite arm to leg. So as your left leg or heel lifts, your right arm will lift. As your right leg or heel lifts, your left arm will lift. There we go, creating those beautiful pathways from our seat, from our feet to our brain, on our seat, for whenever we want to move around outside, walking upright. So many rhyming words there. Let's come back into the center now, up nice and tall. And we'll gently rock our feet from side to side. Now see if you can bring your awareness down to the bottom of your feet and feel that beautiful shifting of weight side to side. This is really great also for those pathways, building up the pathways. So if we are walking around outside and we lean to one side, our body kind of remembers how to come back into the center. So whatever we do here on the chair, and I'm just doing some opposite arms as well, because again, more opposite things we can do, the brain goes, whoa, that's a challenge. And it starts to light those fires and then becomes more learning for us. All right, let's come back into the center now and take a breath here. Now from here, we'll keep our right leg where it is and take the left leg, if you choose, a little forward in front. Now you're welcome to, of course, keep it here in the sitting mountain. We'll take it a little forward in front, and from here we'll breathe out and just hinge forward from the hips just a little to get a little stretch through the back of the leg. That's it. Now I like to do something while I'm doing this, which is just try to roll the toes from the pinky toe in to the big toe. Just one toe at a time. There we go. just to give a little bit more of that awareness of movement from the feet to the brain. And then when you're finished that, we're going to gently press up, come back into sitting mountain, and we'll do the other side. Taking the foot out in front if you choose. Knee can stay a little bit soft. It's really good to have a little bit of bend in that knee. Pull the toes back if you take your leg out. Hinge forward from the hips, and then see if you can roll your toes from the pinky toe into the big toe. You might really notice a difference side to side as well. I do. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. One side is not good or bad. They are just what they are. There's no labels or judgment. Remember, we practice with kindness, with non-harm. Those labels like, oh, my bad leg, my bad side, they're just going to stay bad because they're not going to ever want to change. Maybe we could say that side's experiencing a challenge instead. All right, let's come back. Did that take a lot of concentration? We'll come back and sit tall. Take a breath here. Just regroup into sitting mountain once more. Lovely. And then we'll just roll the shoulders again, up and back and down. Nice. And then from here, bring your hands up. I'm just going to check what time it is. Oh, it's going so fast. We'll just do a couple little things and then we'll finish off. Come back up to that prism again with your hands. We're almost there. And from here, we'll breathe in. And as you exhale, we'll take our twist again towards the right. If you inhale, come back to the center and exhale to the left. Now, you might want to gaze at your middle finger gently as you move side to side. And an option may be, as you turn to the left, release your right hand and stretch it across your body towards the left. And then inhale to come back to the center. And as you turn to the right, release your left hand, reach for the right wall, and then inhale, return that prism together. Yes, and then exhale to the left. The right hand goes across. Return to the prism as you come back. Then the left arm goes across. And return to the prism as you come back. You can follow the hand with your eyes as you reach across your body to the opposite side. Great. I'm going to do one more over to the left. So whenever you get to that left side, just finishing off there, and coming back into the center and gently releasing the hands down. Great. Now from here, I had a request to do some neck movements. So let's do that. So we're going to bring Julie smiling because it was her request. So we'll bring our hands down, but it's a great idea because hands up if you feel like neck is something that you really need to have a little movement and tension relief. Yeah, everybody. Double hands up. Yeah, so let's roll the shoulders again, up and back and down. Now you're welcome to keep your hands onto the thighs or perhaps take them down, pressing the palms down towards the floor. Now, when we do this one, if you can, imagine like you have your palm in that size in between your chin and chest, yeah? And from here, we're going to keep that distance, but just let the ear come down towards the right shoulder. And the nose stays pointing forward. Yeah, sometimes what I notice, the reason I'm saying that is that people turn as they drop down, which is actually a good stretch as well. It's just a different one to what we're trying to get into the side here of the spine. So taking a breath now into the side body. Remember, you can always support yourself as well with your hand. Oh, this is nice, actually. With your hand, your arm, if you want to. It's not about getting the biggest, strongest stretch we can do, but just finding that gentle lengthening where we can still breathe, where it's comfortable, and then the muscles will relax. If they're in an overstretch, they're going to tighten up and retract again. So find a space where you can still breathe. Now the next inhale breath, we're going to gently come back into the center. And the same again on the other side. So exhaling, let the ear go down. Remember to support yourself if you would like to. Yeah. You can press down as much as you like with that right hand as you're stretching to the left. Feel the breath. Feel the beautiful, gentle length of the muscle. And the inhale breath will come, or will stay actually, because I was talking a lot on the other side. Let's just stay for one more breath here. So we're even. That's it. And then inhale, we'll come back to the center. Now from here, we're going just let the head slowly come forward and only to wherever feels comfortable. Just making sure you don't roll through the upper back. And then inhale, we'll gently, slowly lift up just to where the roof meets the wall. And slowly come down. I don't know if you can see my cat here is like, oh, her hands are down. I'm coming for a cuddle. And then inhale, coming up. We're only going slowly, and just take your time. Keep your eyes following you as you go. Gaze going on. Now there's one more thing I'd love to do for my neck, which helps to kind of reset that forward head, because when we have a forward head where our head's carried forward, we add so much more extra weight onto our neck, and our head already weighs about 6 kilos on average for a human, so that's quite a lot to be holding up every day, and then we add more pressure. So this is one technique, and you can do this, I'll show you without hands, with hands, and you can also do it pressing back into your pillow at night. Sometimes I do it in the car when I'm driving along and I push back into the seat to reset my neck. So you can have your hands down onto your lap if you like, or you could have your hands back around the back of your head. You can interlace your fingers, or you can hold into just the sides, the bony part just there, maybe, just so you have something to press back into. So whatever version works for you, because you can also use visualization and imagine that you're pressing back into something, yeah? And then the tongue is going to go on the roof of the mouth. Yeah, one hand is a beautiful option, or two, yeah? Tongue goes onto the roof of the mouth, just behind the top teeth. I know that's a bit strange, isn't it? But it helps with activating these muscles at the front. Okay, and then we're just going to simply push back our head. It's almost like you're going to make a little double chin, yeah, at the front. So we don't want to stick the head upwards or downwards, but just keeping that beautiful space and shifting back a little bit into either the imaginary wall or your hands. Now, don't forget to breathe as you do it. That's a bit important, isn't it? And even though we're pushing, there's still a sense of ease. One more breath. And then use your exhale, slowly release. And I would normally repeat that maybe 2 more times just to get it into the muscle memory. But for today's purposes, because we are running out of time, just to keep it at 1, but you're welcome to practice that any other time. All right, from here, we'll just take a breath in. And on the exhale breath, we're just going to come forward just to take one little forward fold. After that, just to let the energy come down just a little. Just take a breath into the back of the body. It's a really nice, gentle place to be. Sometimes here I even like to just rest my chin in my hands, or whatever makes it feel comfortable for you. If you have cushions or anything, you can always rest on those too. And just take one more breath to the back of the body. And on the inhale breath, we'll slowly just rise on up. And this from here, if you feel like you'd like to, you can lean back a little bit into your chair. We're only going to stay here for about a moment because Julie's going to bring us through a lovely meditation anyway. So just a little pathway now for her. Just letting your hands rest up onto your lap. You can take your legs out in front if you like. And just soften down through the shoulders. If you want to, close your eyes. We'll just pause here just for one moment letting everything soften. And I'll pass you over to Julie because she'll continue now with a beautiful meditation for you that will help you to relax even more.
Bringing yourself into a comfortable position, either staying on your chair. You might even like to transfer yourself to the sofa or even onto your bed. This practice can be done anywhere you like, where you are the most supported. Finding that space where you feel comfortable right now. And taking one beautiful, soft and gentle inhalation. Inhaling, filling up those lungs and letting everything just release with a nice exhalation. Noticing how good it feels to have moved every part of your body in that beautiful chair yoga session with Claire. And how awesome were you to be guided through it and allow yourself to be moved today in a very gentle and special way. Being aware of the surface that you rest, where you lay, where you sit right now. And become aware of the surface of the floor where your feet may be positioned, the back of your legs, and your whole spine from the tip of your tailbone right up to the top of your neck and where the skull meets the neck. The most beautiful position that you've chosen to be right now. And take a lovely inhalation and exhale with a sigh. You may like to notice some sounds that are inside the room where you are now. You may have the sound of a clock ticking, maybe the air conditioning. Just notice what's there. Moving from sound to sound ever so gently. Knowing you are supported in your safe space, your bed, your chair, and the room where you are. Noticing all of the noises around you. Maybe some are extending out into the distance. Maybe the sound of the world going on with their day. Feeling safe and calm, relaxed. And just invite you now to bring your awareness to your natural breath. Just the gentle rise and fall of your tummy with each inhalation and natural exhalation. Ever so gentle and calm. It's a natural rhythm. Just taking this time to notice that. You may be aware of some tingling in your body, maybe some warmth or coolness. This could be the effects of the yoga practice that we've just done. It's all letting everything settle in your body, taking place, rewiring and calming. And there's nowhere else you have to be or anywhere else you have to go, but just be here right now. calmly with yourself through the guidance of my voice. Being calm. I'd like to ask you now to count 1 to 9 with each inhalation and each exhalation. So an inhalation is 1, an exhale is 1, and then following on, breathing in for 2 and out for 2 until you reach number 9. Just continue counting until you reach 9. And if you make a mistake along the way, it doesn't matter. You can always return to 1 and begin again. Just moving away from the counting when you're ready. And if you've chosen to close your eyes, you might notice some sparkles behind the closed eyelids. And if your eyes are still open and downcast maybe to the floor, wherever you are right now, just notice where you've chosen to place your hands. They may have fallen naturally onto your lap. They may be holding on to each other. The palms may be facing upwards. Wherever they've chosen to fall, just notice where they are now. Your hands. All 10 fingers. Gently settled and calm. Notice your arms, your upper body, your tummy, your sit bones, supported by the surface, and both of your legs and your feet and your toes. The whole of your body and your head, everything together, beautifully rested. And while you're sitting here ever so quietly, think of a word that suddenly springs to mind like a flower popping up. See if you can notice that and see if a word makes you smile, whatever that word is. Just one word. And then I invite you to place that word inside a little box that's sitting next to you, like a little imaginary box. And you're going to open the box, the lid, and you're going to pop that word inside there. It's ever so precious. It means something to you. And it's always there to go back to say hello. Ever so gently, you open the lid of this box and you pop your word inside. Closing down the lid and giving yourself a big smile inside. becoming aware once again of the place where you chose to rest and the position of your body in the room where you are, surrounded by familiar things, some noises, all the things that are familiar to you. Just notice them right now and smile. Give yourself a big smile. Taking 3 deeper inhalations as we breathe in, fill up your lungs. You may feel your tummy expand and your ribs expand outwards, maybe backwards as well. Just notice where you feel it filling up, and then big long sigh out, beautiful. Another 2 breaths like this, breathing in and letting everything to oxygenate your whole systems. You may feel some heat coming up there as well. It's wonderful. It's bringing the body back into the room, into the space. Yummy. And then when you're ready, I'd invite you to very gently open up your eyes if they're not already open. You might want to do that by bringing your palms together and maybe giving them a little bit of a rub, and then placing it over your closed eyes so that they can ever so gently open up again. Because sometimes it's a little bit bright when we come out of a meditation, but the way we can palm down the front of the eyes is really nice to bring us back. And then give yourself a bit of a well done, because we all deserve a little bit of love and kindness to ourselves. So thank you very much. I'd like to say thank you to Claire. Oh, a hug. Absolutely. I'm going in with Kevin. Big hug. Thank you very much, everybody, especially to Claire, Robin, Trudy, and is it Robin? I've got to remember my other man's name. Sorry.
Jay.
I'm sorry, Jade. I used to live in a world of name badges, and now it's as nobody has a left chest, if you know what I mean. So I hope you enjoyed that practice today. Make sure that everybody is feeling grounded again. It was a very gentle and supportive session. Claire works with this beautiful chair yoga, and I've been working. I'll finish my thing soon, Claire. As with everything with yoga, it is a personal practice. You find a teacher who is good for you. We are registered with NDIS, and that's the main thing, is that you have full support and can use your funding streams very simply by talking to your local area coordinator or your coordinator of supports. A little bit of a process for the office at All Ability Yoga, but we don't mind. It's something that we're very used to, and having a lived experience with brain injury, it's not an easy transition to be heard. I don't want to get teary this morning. We know that tears are a big part of brain injury, but we also want to know these things, and they're called the facts. And I use this and I advocate for everybody wherever I go, even with LACs who don't even know about this book. I take it with me and say, this is my Bible. It helps not only me, it helps my family, it helps my cleaner, bless her cotton socks, it helps the doctor. And then they say, how do you do this? And I say, because through my yoga practice, I know how much it has helped me to advocate and self-advocate, but also living with chronic pain and managing it without having to rely totally on what I would call some nasty medication, which we have to have at times. We need it to keep alive, you know. Just knowing that your informed supports are so important to you. And I know one person who I would go to if I was needing a bit of help, and it's the lady sitting on the screen, and they've got CC as the initials. But because I feel very safe in my practice of yoga. Sometimes I'm lying flat on my bed doing yoga, but I'm breathing. I'm doing a gentle breathing practice. It doesn't have to be a physical movement.
Yeah.
It can be something as simple as a meditation practice. It's still your own body moving uniquely.
Mm-hmm.
And letting this part of your body, the brain, which we all know has had an effect of something with it, to settle and let those synapses really settle and calm. It's very simple, but I hope you've enjoyed it. That's all I can say. Thanks, Nadine.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm sure everybody else, I'm sure they felt the benefit. I certainly did. I felt really relaxed. I know that going in before the session, I had mentioned I was feeling really tense, didn't have a good night's sleep, but definitely just being in a quiet environment and just focusing on me. I just felt so nice and relaxed. And when you mentioned the tingling at the end, I thought, but actually I did get it. And I've not experienced that before. So that was a lovely feeling. So thank you.
Beautiful. And all the tingling is like the integration of everything that we've done into our system. It's all the energy, because yoga works not just on the physical, it's very powerful for physical improvements and things like that, but it works on all layers of us, the mental, the emotional, and the energetic as well, and the breath. So so you can actually feel the energy when you do yoga. It's beautiful. Yeah,
it was great. Well, does anybody else want to share how they found the session, or if they have any questions for Julie or Claire? Jay, you're on mute.
Yes, please.
I just wanted to say I feel very relaxed, and thank you both for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like to say, I didn't know my toes could move individually, and they actually still can't. I've never tried to lift them up one at a time before. And it looks to me like 3 of them are glued together, so they don't want to move on their own.
So practice, because all it is it's relearning the pattern. So everything that we're doing is a habit, and it's been created over time, and relearning is possible, right, with everything. So we can actually relearn those patterns through practice and through just even visualizing doing it. If they're not physically moving, that's been proven to have such a huge and powerful effect, almost the same as moving it physically. So anything you can do physically can visualize as well to help create the pattern, recreate the patterns again. It's important. That
very relaxing. Very relaxing. Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
Can I share something with you all, guys? I went to my neurologist about 4 months ago to get a report for NDIS, of course, because we're always getting reports on how we're doing. And I had to have a CT scan just to check how my brain was and the repair that's been going on over 27 years. And Dr. Rennicke actually couldn't find any scarring.
Amazing.
And I mentioned that to, I do a style of meditation twice a day. I've been doing it for a few years now, and I talked to this chap who teaches me, and he said this is because you're calming and rewiring everything, and it's like a bruising. I don't know, I felt as though my brain was bruised on the left lobe for a long time, and headaches and all of the things that we have for symptoms of brain injury that can be quite debilitating. So I needed to find something that worked, and the quiet time was something that really worked for me. And even the voice, and having somebody with a voice that actually you can engage with. I always went towards men for teachers, Jay, and I wanted to be taught by a man because of their strength. And I didn't understand that, but now I do, because it's the tone, the tone of the voice and the clarity. And my brain surgeons were all men. So when they were talking while I had my surgery, I can hear things from, we hear things, the body keeps score, as they say in one of our books by Bessel van der Kolk. So it's just lovely work. And if we can keep as calm as possible, especially in COVID-19, I think we've all been able to find techniques to help. And I work with dementia, and as I said before, the smiles that can come to people's faces just through having that calm time, and the support workers who need it too, because they're burning out quickly. Yeah.
And the other thing is the connection with others, right? Because doing this as a group today is just absolutely beautiful, even if it's one-on-one as well. But that is what the feedback from a lot of my classes has been through this last year that we've been through, is that connection of the community, even through the screen, has just been life-saving for them. So even if they just came and sat there and breathed, like Julie said, that is yoga as well. Yoga, and that might be what you want to do on a particular day, and that's absolutely fine. So whatever works for you, you're always different every day, but some people do that. They just come to be with others, and that is something we can also facilitate, especially through chair yoga, because we can offer options for everyone in the same class that don't have to go to a separate class for a certain age group or a certain ability or a certain whatever. Like, they can actually all be there together, which is just incredible and beautiful. So yeah.
Well, ladies, I would like to say a big thank you on behalf of Synapse and our members. What I might do is in a minute or two stop the recording, but please, if anybody else wants to stay online, I'm just going to stop the recording, and then we can continue chatting, or you can log off. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you so much. Definitely I can see the benefits and see that anyone and everyone can participate in chair yoga. If anyone has any questions for Julie or Claire, or would like to get in contact with them, you can have a look at their website, All Ability. There's options of online, one-to-one and groups. Julie's on the Central Coast, but they definitely operate throughout New South Wales and can help you. If you live outside of New South Wales, they can even put you in contact with a yoga therapist or yoga teacher in another state. So please don't hesitate to reach out and contact us. We'll be putting their contact details on attached to this as well when we put it on our social media and website. So yeah, thanks so much.
Any feedback's greatly received. Any feedback.
Absolutely. Thank you.